You ever wonder why they turn their backs so quick? Why the ones you'd bleed for don't even flinch when you scream for help? Oh, I know you've asked yourself. Don't lie to me. I see it in your eyes. That empty gaze. That quiet rage simmering underneath. You're not angry at them, are you? No. You're angry at yourself for believing in them in the first place. Let me tell you something about trust. Trust is the most dangerous weapon you'll ever hand someone. It's sharper than any blade, deadlier than any bullet. You give it to someone, and you're practically begging them to use it against you. And use it they will. The people you thought were loyal, the ones who promised they'd stick around, they'll show you their true colors the moment the weight gets too heavy. When your world starts crumbling, they'll be the first to grab a sledgehammer and start swinging. But listen closely, because this part is important. Their betrayal, their lies, it's not about you. It's about them. Weak people can't handle strong souls. They see your fire, and it terrifies them. So they'll douse it, snuff it out, just to make themselves feel less small. You trusted them because you're wired differently. You believed in them because you wanted to believe there's still good in this rotten world. That's not a flaw. That's your strength. But strength like that, it comes with a cost. You're paying that price now, aren't you? Nights where the silence is deafening, where the weight of their absence feels like it's crushing your chest. You sit there, replaying every word, every moment, wondering where you went wrong. Let me save you some time. You didn't go wrong. They did. They failed to see your worth, and now they're out there chasing cheap imitations, hollow replacements for the person they walked away from. But here's the twist. Time, it's not just a healer. It's a revealer. Give it enough space, and it'll expose everything. The lies, the betrayals, the fake smiles and hollow promises. And it'll do more than that. It'll show you who really matters. Because when the dust settles, when the storm clears, you'll see who's still standing with you. So, spoiler alert, it won't be many. Maybe one, maybe two. Maybe just you. And that's okay. That's more than enough. You think I don't understand, don't you? You think I haven't been there? Sitting in the dark, fists clenched, teeth grinding, wondering why the hell I'm even trying anymore. Oh, I've been there. Every scar on my face tells a story of someone who swore they'd stay, but didn't. Every laugh I let out, that's just me covering the sound of another person walking away. But you know what? I stopped chasing a long time ago. You want to leave? There's the door. You want to betray me? Go ahead. Just know this. I don't lose sleep over people who chose to write themselves out of my story. And neither should you. Stop wasting your energy on ghosts. Stop trying to resurrect dead relationships, dead dreams, dead promises. If they were meant to stay, they'd still be here. Focus on what's in front of you. Focus on yourself. Build something so strong so unshakable, that when they come crawling back, and trust me, they always crawl back, you won't even recognize them. Now let me tell you about pain. Pain is a funny thing. It can destroy you, or it can shape you. It's the hammer and the chisel, and you're the stone. The choice is yours. Let it break you into pieces, or let it carve you into something unbreakable. People like us, we don't get to choose an easy life. We don't get the luxury of soft hands and peaceful nights. Our hands are calloused, our hearts scarred, our minds a battlefield. And that's exactly what makes us dangerous. The world doesn't fear the weak. It fears those who've been broken 1,000 times, but still stand back up. It fears those who've been abandoned, betrayed, and left for dead, yet still find the strength to keep going. That's you. That's who you are. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night, it's all part of your armor. Wear it with pride, because it's proof that you survived what others couldn't. And let's not forget the best part. Time. It's not just going to reveal who truly stands with you. It's going to show them too. It's going to make them realize what they lost. It's going to force them to confront their own cowardice and their own betrayal. They'll look at you, stronger, colder, untouchable, and they'll realize they didn't just lose you. They lost the version of themselves that could have stood beside you. And that's a pain they'll carry for the rest of their lives. So stay patient, stay quiet. Let them think they've won. Let them think you're down for the count. Because when the time comes, and it will, they'll see the truth. They'll see the monster they created, the fire they couldn't extinguish, the soul they couldn't break.
Please take this short break from your video to support our channel by getting yourself merch. Enjoy the rest of the video.
And by then it'll be too late. You'll be untouchable, unshakable, unstoppable. You're stronger than you think, smarter than you know, and worth more than they'll ever understand. So stop doubting yourself. Stop wasting tears on people who don't deserve them. Stand up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. Because the only person you truly need in your corner is staring back at you in the mirror. Now go. Show them. Show them what patience, pain, and persistence can do. Show them that you don't just survive, you thrive. Show them that no matter how many times they knock you down, you'll always get back up. And when the time comes, when the truth finally comes to light, you'll be the one standing tall. And they'll be nothing more than a distant memory, a lesson learned, a page in your story. Time will reveal everything, my friend. Stay patient. Watch. And when the moment comes, don't just stand with them. Stand above them. You see, patience ain't just a virtue. It's a weapon. A silent, deadly weapon. Most people don't understand that. They think patience is weakness, like you're just sitting there waiting for life to happen. But patience, real, Patience, it's a calculated, deliberate choice. It's watching, learning, observing every crack in their facade while they think you're doing nothing. And when the time is right, when the time is right, you strike. You know why most people fail? They act too fast, they get hurt, they get angry, and they let their emotions run wild. They lash out, make mistakes, burn bridges they'll later wish they hadn't. Don't be like them. Don't let your pain dictate your actions. Let it fuel you, sure, but don't let it control you. Use it like a blade, sharp, precise, cutting only where it matters. They think you're weak right now, don't they? They think they've won because you haven't retaliated. They mistake your silence for surrender, your calm for defeat. Let them. Let them live in that delusion. There's nothing more dangerous than a person who knows when to wait and when to move. And when you finally move, they won't see it coming. But patience isn't easy, is it? It's not just about waiting. It's about enduring. It's about sitting in the fire without flinching, about carrying the weight of your own doubts, your own fears, without letting it crush you. It's about listening to their lies, their excuses, their justifications, and smiling through it all, even when you want to scream. That's real strength. That's the kind of strength they'll never understand. Let me ask you something. Do you know who you really are? Not the person they think you are, not the version of yourself you show to the world, but the real you, the raw, unfiltered you, the one who's been through hell and back, the one who's survived things most people wouldn't even dare to imagine. Do you know that person? Because if you don't, it's time to meet them. And if you do, it's time to embrace them. That version of you, that's the person they fear. That's the person they tried to break, to silence, to destroy. And the fact that you're still here, still breathing, still fighting, that terrifies them. Because it means they failed. It means they couldn't extinguish your fire, no matter how hard they tried. So don't waste another second doubting yourself. Don't waste another second wondering why they left, why they betrayed you, why they couldn't stand by your side. The answers to those questions don't matter. What matters is what you do next. What matters is how you rise from the ashes they left behind. What matters is proving, not to them, but to yourself, that you are so much stronger than they ever gave you credit for. You see, life has a funny way of balancing the scales. The people who hurt you, who used you, who abandoned you, they'll get theirs. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. Time has a way of exposing the truth, of delivering justice in ways you can't even imagine. And when that day comes, you'll be so far ahead, so untouchable, that their regret won't even faze you. But here's the kicker. You don't need to wait for that day. You don't need their downfall to validate your worth. Your value doesn't depend on their apologies, their regrets, or their recognition. Your value comes from within. It comes from knowing that no matter what they did, no matter how many times they tried to tear you down, you're still standing. You're still here. And that's the ultimate victory. Now let's talk about loyalty. Oh, that sweet, elusive thing. Everyone loves to preach about loyalty, don't they? They throw the word around like it's some sacred promise. But the truth is, loyalty isn't given. It's earned. And most people, they're not worthy of it. They'll claim to have your back, but the moment things get tough, they're gone. Loyalty isn't tested in the good times. It's tested in the trenches, in the chaos, in the moments when everything is falling apart. And if they weren't there in those moments, they never deserved your loyalty in the first place. So stop chasing people who don't deserve you. Stop begging for scraps of affection from those who wouldn't cross the street for you. You're better than that. You're worth more than that. The right people, the real ones, they'll show up without you having to ask. They'll stand by you not because they have to, but because they want to. And those people, they're rare. Treasure them when you find them. But until then, walk alone if you have to. Because walking alone with your dignity intact is better than crawling beside someone who doesn't value you. And one last thing, don't you dare give up. Don't you dare let their betrayal, their lies, their cowardice break you. Because the moment you give up, the moment you stop fighting, they win. And you're not a quitter. You're a survivor, a fighter, a force to be reckoned with. So keep going, keep pushing, keep proving them wrong. Not for them, but for you. Because at the end of the day, when the dust settles and the truth comes to light, you'll be the one standing tall. And they'll be nothing more than a footnote in your story, a lesson learned, a memory that no longer holds any power over you. So stay patient, stay strong, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. Time will reveal everything, and when it does, you'll see you never needed them to begin with. You ever think about how much time you've wasted? All those hours, days, years spent on people who didn't deserve even a second of your energy? Oh, I know it stings, doesn't it? Thinking about all the love you gave, the trust you handed over, only for them to spit it back in your face. But here's the real kicker. They didn't just waste your time. They stole it. They took pieces of you, pieces you'll never get back. And for what? For their convenience, their amusement, their selfish little games. But you know what's funny about time? It's the one thing no one can steal forever. Sure, they can waste it, drain it, even make you feel like you've got none left. But they can't control what you do with the time you have now. That's yours. Every second, from this moment forward, belongs to you, and you alone. So what are you going to do with it? Cry over the pieces they broke, or rebuild something stronger with the ones they couldn't touch? Let me tell you a little secret about pain. Most people think it's a curse, something to avoid.